everyone, welcome to another video. Thank you so much for choosing to watch my video. Today it is Sunday and I decided that why not let me just clean my fridge. I haven't cleaned it in a long time. It's very dirty and it's empty. It's January, you know. So I decided to clean it, and these are some of the few things that I just went and got. Nothing hectic. Got mushrooms, carrots. Carrots are a snack in my house. They eat them before we get home, and that green leaves morojo, I don't know what to call it. So I went to Woolies and I went to Asian market. Yeah, the total cost of the things that I got was 346. It's 146 at Woolies, and then 200 by the Asian market. Guys, can you see the size of these bananas? These are huge. And then I bought bean sprouts as well. The nectarines were so sweet. I haven't bought anything by the Asian market that is not nice, that I did not enjoy, except their apple. They have this, I don't know what they call it, but they have this apple that I think it's indigenous in their, I don't know which country it is. I'll have to find out. But I tried it and it was bland. I don't know if it was just my luck, but there was no sugar. It wasn't sweet at all. Nothing. I'm looking for that particular person who said that when life gives you lemons, you should make lemonade with it. Can they come and show me how to make lemonade so that it can fill my fridge since it's January? Because I can make all the lemonade in the world, but you know what? It's still January. January is January. I'm joking, guys. You guys know I freeze a lot of my things, so my fridge is always empty. I keep few things that are fresh. The rest of them, most of the time, they are frozen. If I want something fresh, I go and buy it and use it. But most of the time, the things that I use are frozen, and I try to stay away from condiments a lot. But yeah, it's January, it's empty. So I decided that why not let me clean it. I haven't cleaned it in a while. I'm not even going to say how long I have not cleaned it, but I haven't in a while. See how dirty it is. It is dirty. One of the reason again why it's dirty is because, as I say, a lot of times I do go to Asian market and they are, I don't know if there's a science or something to it, but they do not wash their vegetables. And the other day I actually wanted to show you guys the spring onions that I bought from them. I left it in a plastic bag and I didn't wash it. It lasted a lot longer compared to if I just put it in my fridge like that, and if compared to if I washed it and put it in my fridge. But most of the time really I buy them, then I'll wash them, then I'll cut them and store them in a glass container. But this time around I left it in a plastic bag and it lasted for a while. I was actually surprised. So I've been experimenting with not washing the things. I know. I've been experimenting with not washing the things that I buy from them, since I don't keep a lot of things in the fridge. So even if there are ends or whatever, that is still there. It's not going to damage anything in my fridge. So they do not wash anything. Their vegetables, they don't wash anything. They leave it like that with the soil. So I'm thinking it's manipulation of something for the veggies not to go bad quick. I think it's similar to, I've read somewhere where they say if you buy carrot or even potato, any root vegetable, always have a spot in your yard where you can actually put your carrots under there. You can put your potatoes. Okay, potatoes are going to they're gonna start sprouting, but majority, there's a method I'll find out, but you can actually put your vegetables on the ground for them not to go bad. A lot of houses where we live, when we were looking to buy a house around here, this is how the fridge looks. It's better. It's clean. I know a lot of houses around here, when we were viewing some of the houses, majority of them, they had root cellars, and actually you can go underneath, and then it's very, very, very cool. So I think that's how back in the days they used to keep their vegetables, because a lot of the houses around here are very old. So they were built a long time ago, so it's an old suburb. So I think the soil has something to do with how do I put it? It's manipulating something in the vegetables so that they don't go bad quick. So most of the time, a couple of weeks I haven't been washing what I buy from them and leave it like that. The spring onion, the green onion, and all of that. But obviously the eggplant and all, I would wash them. I'm grateful that the freezer side of my fridge is frost free, because I do not like cleaning the freezer. I think it's a tedious job. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like cleaning it. So this, for me, it is the best. And another thing that I don't do when I clean the fridge, I do not take, except the mayonnaise and all of that. I refrain from taking things out of the fridge or freezer. I would rather transfer them to another drawer, another shelf, then clean that shelf like that. I don't like taking everything out, because I feel like I'm dropping the temperature, then putting it back. I think if I were to do that, if including the freezer, if I were to clean the freezer, I would have my deep freezer. I would have to buy ice and put my things on ice, because it takes a while to clean a freezer. It takes a while to clean the fridge. So if you take everything out of the fridge, or out of the freezer, I feel like the temperature will be dropping, and when you put them back, like, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable with the containers, the Tupperwares. Whenever I cook meat, if I cook it traditional, I would make a lot of broth. It's not pure broth like the clear one. Like, I'm not a chef, so I don't know how to make it properly. But I make a lot, in a sense that we can have leftover broth even if the meat is finished. Why I do that? Because sometimes you find that you just want to have something quick, and if you have pasta, pasta, you can boil it quick, and you just add, you defrost you take out one container of broth, you put it in a microwave. You have that with pasta. If you add green chili or any chili that you have, listen, you will not even feel the need, you will not even feel like you need anything else. So I always maximize when I cook the meat and make sure that there's enough soup left for me to put back into the freezer. That's what I do. So this is how my fridge looks. The side of the fridge, it's done, it's clean, and I'm happy with how it looks. And the freezer as well, it's looking good, it's great. Now we are going to start cooking dinner for today. Like I always say, I do not follow any recipe. What I do is, if I don't know what to cook, I would go on YouTube, check for recipes. I'm a pasta lover, so majority of my food, they either entails pasta, or it's grains like your barley, your what. I love super bowls. Most of my foods, or the food that I make, it's super bowls as well. So but today I'll be making an Asian inspired dish. I don't know what to call it. I don't know if there's a name to it, but I just saw something that they made, and I was like, okay, I can try this with what I have, and I'm definitely going to try it, and that's what I'm making today. So another thing that I can say is that when you are making pasta, or when you are cooking, the trick to cooking that I had learned over the years watching TV shows, cooking shows, is that cut your vegetables first, all of them, before you even go to the stove and cook. Because if you don't do that, you end up overcooking your vegetables, and sometimes overcooked vegetables are not really pretty to look at. Remember, we eat with our eyes first, and before we even taste the food. And if you are making a pasta dish, I would say you can gauge. I think this one also comes with experience. You can gauge how, if you've cooked something before, how long it takes. Then you can cook your pasta maybe midway. Others you can cook at the beginning of when you start making your side dishes, you can wait. It comes with experience, because you don't want an overcooked pasta as well, especially if you don't want to rinse it with cold water. Because the one that you can, if you're making salad, that's okay, you can rinse it with cold water and let the water drain there, let it sit on the colander for a while. And it is best most of the time to let's say, if you don't wanna rinse it with cold water, make sure that it's about, especially if you're going to mix it with something else like I'm going to, make sure that it's 75% cooked. Because if you are not done cooking your sides or your whatever it is that you're going to mix with, it will be standing there even if you have drained it, and it's going to continue cooking. By the time you start cooking, by the time you add it to your sides or to whatever it is that you want to add, it will be overcooked. And there's nothing pretty about a pasta that is broken. But I do know that it happens to all of us. Sometimes you overcook it and then it comes out not pretty at all. I started by putting my pasta water on stove, and I fried, and I put another pot on the other stove, heat my olive oil, and then I started by frying the mushrooms, and I added the green onion and the spring onion. Then I'm adding the onion and the chilies, and I'm going to fry those together. Then when the water boils, I normally put a little bit of oil so that my pasta doesn't stick together. It doesn't matter what kind of pasta you use, but sometimes I have this thing that this water I'm going to drain. I feel like I'm wasting oil and all of that. But if you cook it without the oil, sometimes it will stick together, and it's not going to be easy for you to use it if it's in that state. So again, this dish that I'm making, I'm trying not to overcook my vegetables, because I still want them to be crunchy. And what I just added now, it's bean sprouts. And also, I don't want anything to overcook, including the carrots. So I'm very conscious, and I was worried about my pasta, because I feel like my veggies were going to be cooked before the pasta was cooked. And you know what? I was anxious a bit. My seasoning is always the same. It's onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, every the same spices that I always use. And I used vegetarian oyster sauce, and I used 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. I didn't use a measuring tablespoon. I used a table setting tablespoon. And it depends on you how dark you want it. I didn't want it dark, so I added about 650 ml to the vegetables. I just want them to boil just a little bit, and I adjusted my seasoning, because the seasoning that I put before, it had salt. I had used it on Friday when I was cooking my roast beef, so I just wanted to adjust the seasoning with the yellow salt, but already there was a seasoning. And listen, guys, we each have preferences. If you don't like yellow salt, use salt. I love yellow salt, that's why I always use it. So this is 2 tablespoons of flour mixed with water that I'm adding to the vegetables. I'm working very quick in this setting because I really didn't want my vegetables to overcooked. The thickness was not according to how I liked it, so I added about half a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of cornflour with water again, and I was happy with the consistency. Then I added my pasta, and I was so happy that it did not overcook. It still looked great and it was ready to serve because I really did not want to run cold water into it, because if I did, that would mean for it to be warm, because I wanted a warm meal. I would have to let it cook for a couple of minutes, which was going to overcook it again. Oh, cooking pasta is hard work. So this is how my dinner went. I don't know if I'm not always good with writing recipe, guys. I don't know, maybe I'll try and write it down in the description box, but that's not my strong point because I don't follow recipes. I don't even know the format that I'm supposed to write my recipes on, but I will try on this one. And if you have watched up until this far, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the support and everything, the love. I used the beef that I cooked on Friday, and this is how it looks. It's we had the toasted bread with it this morning again, so that's how it looked. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.